Good morning, Rabbi. Thank you for coming. Please help yourself to breakfast anonymously sponsored. You know, war is not pretty, and the Torah talks about war. Last week's parsha, this week's parsha. In fact, it says, "Ki yikach ish isha chadasha lo yetze b'tzos." Somebody who gets newly married, he's exempt from the army. There are a couple of categories that you're exempt from the army. They have this one, we talk about this parsha, also talk about the fact if you have a new house and you didn't inaugurate the house, or you have a vineyard and didn't enjoy the vineyard, you're able to be exempt from the army. Now, fascinating, Rashi, dealing with the case of the person who's newly married, says that you should listen to the Kohen, because the Kohen tells you that you can't go to fight, you have to listen to the Kohen. And he says regarding this person with a new husband, that if he doesn't go listen to the Kohen, if you not listen to the Kohen, it's fitting for him to die. So the question is, first, how can I listen to the Kohen? Because only the most righteous people belong to the army. We may disagree with the Kohen. But here's the other problem. Why does Rashi say that if such a person doesn't listen to the Kohen, it's fitting for him to die? It doesn't talk about that in the case of somebody who has a new house or a new vineyard. Why in the case of his wife, we're talking about the fact he's fitting to die? So Rav Shimon Kaplan has, I think, a fantastic answer. He says there is a loophole. If somebody really has a vineyard, he has, a house, he wants to get into the army, he wants to serve the Jewish people, he really is dedicated, he can make it hefker. He can say, I don't own it anymore. If he doesn't own it anymore, he can be part of the army. There's another loophole. He can say, I don't want my wife anymore. I want to divorce my wife. He can also find a loophole. So that's what the Torah is taught. That's what Rashi is alluding to the fact. In that case, about the vineyard or the house, maybe it's praiseworthy. He's willing to give it up. But if you're willing to hurt your wife and join the army because of that and because of grief, that's not what Yiddishkeit is all about. You can't be religious on somebody else's beer, somebody else's cheshbon. That's really what it's talking about. There's a famous story. Yisrael Salanter goes to a small shtetl, and it's time for mincha, so they all wash their hands with full cups, and he only does a small amount. But why are you doing a small amount? You usually use the whole hand. He goes, listen, the Gabbai went to the water well. This is before they had sinks. They went to the water well, and he only got enough for the Congress that normally come. Why should I become more religious on his cheshbon? He has to go back to the well and put more water for me. We cannot be religious on somebody else's cheshbon. That's what Rashi is trying to teach us. That's a story from the Musaris. Very important lesson, even in the midst of war, is that we have to look at this compassionate way of dealing with other people. Have a wonderful day.